guy's farm. He has a little bit of history. He worked in the Canadian West for a while on a ranch, and you can tell when you go in this place he's kind of got a little history in the West, because it's a beautiful, beautiful farm, and it's kind of reminds you of a ranch when you pull into it, I think. And I'll kind of show you that as we pull in here. I just think this is the coolest entrance. And I'm sure when he planted these cedar trees, they were just little, but boy, it's really grown in, and they're soon going to touch at the top. Anyway, we're rolling in on Neil Craven. He's a cow-calf guy, and actually he finishes his calves right here. And he has this neat little gate, which kind of reminds me of a western ranch. And the cows are out today on the farm. And we'll see if we can find Neil. Oh, good morning again. We're out here at the Craven Ranch. Call it a ranch, don't you? Well, I saw the gate there.
Yeah.
And what Neil has here is, it's like farrow to finish with beef. Isn't that what you'd say, Neil?
Yeah, what do we call it? Birth to beef.
Birth to beef.
Yeah.
And so Neil's gonna show us how he does what the program, and explain some of the beef business to us, I guess. Let's start with the hay shed.
Okay. Now here in southwestern Ontario, you know, you're always chasing a cloud, seems like, when you want to do hay. So you can get 3 cuttings of hay here, some years 4. But we put this structure up, and as soon as we bale it, we use net wrap on everything, and get her baled up, put inside as quick as we can. Everything's stored inside, all our hay and the straw. And then we eventually start putting machinery in it as we get it chewed down. So we got some corn stalks in here. We got corn stalks in the bright span next door.
So have you ever tried tubing hay?
We tried it 1 year, and we didn't have, the moisture was not right, Dennis. And then I think the crows got pecking away at it. And we pulled some of them bales out, and it wasn't healthy looking.
You're too close to Chatham for crows. Them dang crows.
Yeah, so anyhow, we had a line of them along the ditch, and they're over in the bush now.
No good. No, I get along really good with them.
Yeah, I can see it being the right thing here, because our moisture, like, they give you a 4-day window to cut hay. Once you get the hay on the ground, you lost 2 days of it. Like, it's a 2-day window, and then, but we've got an inoculator on the baler. We can throw some inoculant on it if it's getting late at night, or, you know, kind of not 100% fit, so we'll do that.
So how do you like using the TMR?
Really nice, and you know, we got a scale on it, so we know how many pounds per head per day we're giving these cows. Before, we were just feeding it, and they were looking full, but boy, I tell you, you overfeed cows, all they do is make manure, and we're trying to be more efficient. It's the only way you can compete, like be more efficient. And it mixes nice, eh? We're putting the corn in it and the concentrate in there for the fat cattle and stuff like that.
And any corn silage that isn't just perfect disappears, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit of crusty on the sidewalls. You throw her in there, and it gets cubed up, and
it's gone.
It's gone. And it's a little conveyor. It'll feed both sides, so we'll feed coming down, and if we got some left when we come back, we just flip the conveyor the opposite way, and it feeds it in there. But it's a tight fit in our alley. You got to watch what you're doing, or you'll be tearing something apart. Yep. Something used we got. Ontario made, though. That's made in Petrolia.
Now they're made in Thamesville.
Yep, made in Thamesville now. Same as our manure spreader. It's a Hagedorn, so it's up there. But this is a bright span structure. That hay shed's 64 by 88, and this is 40 by 80. So we fill it with straw after wheat, and fill it right full as much as we can get in there. And then as we pack away it through the winter, it's pretty much empty come March. And if we get a couple nice days where it's frozen nice and no snow and no rain, we'll go after these corn stalk bales. We'll take our disc bine out there and cut it and then chase it. We got 2 round balers. We'll run around there and get it all picked up. Get her baled, picked up, and put away. We put an extra wrap, a net wrap on these. These got three wraps of net wrap.
So you cut it in the morning and bale it the same day?
We'll bale it the same day, but we'll likely cut it after lunch to get the frost off.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
No frost on it, and we'll have Brian in the hay bine cutting, and Kyle and I will be in the balers baling.
And chase it just as fast as you can get her.
Yeah. And then try to get it picked up that day and get her
and put to
away.
bed.
Yep.
Well, that's a lot of bedding.
Oh, and yeah, the cattle love it. It's nice material to spread too. Like with the spreader, it spreads out nice.
Because it's broke up.
Yeah, we run through this bine, it gets cut again.
Yeah.
So run through stock shredder. The nice thing about this bine is other guys will rake it in. Well, then we're just pulling sand and dirt in and
picking up too much dirt.
Yeah, too much.
Oh,
dirt.
hard on the baler.
Hard on the baler. Hard on the baler. Whereas this way, it's nice and fluffy, and you air it all out. It's in good shape.
I've never tried that yet. I've been gonna. But
And then we'll put our yard scrapings out on that corn ground where we took the corn stalks off, and then we'll have no-till beans through it. The yard scrapings is just rainwater.
yeah. Cows look pretty happy today.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had a little bit of rain and snow. But they were all pretty well inside last night. And yesterday it was kind of raining there. We had a new calf at 10:05 last night. I was out with it. It's doing good. So we've got 60 cows here, mainly kind of red Angus Charolais cross. We breed them to have them start calving the first week of March. So we're 2/3 done right now. And everybody's doing well.
So what do you use on 60 cows? 3 bulls or 2?
We use 3 bulls because we got this little piece here. We keep a bull home with, I don't know, 20 cows, and then we go north of Shetland there on 125 acre pasture, and we put 2 bulls out there with 40 cows up there. It's maybe over bull population, but I'd rather have more bulls than not enough.
Yeah, if you got more bulls, it tightens up your window.
Yeah, tightens your calving period up again. And you know, one guy gets up there and gets a flat tire, and he's not too happy about walking. You got the other bull to catch anything that's missing.
What do you got out there, Neil?
Well, those are our guard dogs. Got a couple donkeys there. Put one in each pasture, and they keep the dogs and the coyotes at bay pretty well, I think.
What about YouTubers?
Well, they're kind of a cute thing. The grandkids love them. They come and they get jubes when the grandkids come. So we're looking for a jube right now, Dennis.
Are they?
I don't. They're up in the barn there. Yeah.
Well, these calves look pretty good.
Yeah, it's a pretty healthy spot for them. It's well drained on a little bit of a hill, and we'll roll a brown bale of hay out here. Likely, I know it's not the most efficient way to feed hay because look at what they're doing. Most of them are laying in it, but we don't. We make them go back out.
Make them clean it up.
They'll clean her up, and then we'll put a bale inside the barn later on tonight, and they'll come in on that. That's where most will be in the morning.
So you'd bed these every day in the barn?
We bed them every day in the barn. Well, now that they're out here, we maybe every other day. Just depends. We bedded them this morning, and with that rain yesterday, they all hung around the barn. They got it kind of wet. Yeah, we're on ground bale number 4 today already because we bedded the fats and the cows, and then a bale of hay, and then we'll do another bale of hay tonight.
So how long do you think you keep your cows in the herd?
These guys here, there's some that are 13 to 14 years old. Once they get a bad eye, or it seems like their feet's kind of what knocks them out of the herd. A lot of guys will trim their feet, but some of the old boys out west says you trim their feet right behind their ears.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's or if they get a bad udder situation, or if they've had a cesarean or something, kind of look at that too. And some cows just attitude problems maybe. And you don't want to keep a cow around too many times that hasn't weaned a calf either.
Yep. Yep. So you preg check?
Well, we only preg check at the end. Our tail enders, if there's like our last 10 cows that haven't calved, we'll preg test them. It just seems like anymore nowadays, you maybe can get an extra buck or two off that cow in the summer. You know.
Oh, she's worth more money in the summer.
Than in the fall. The fall run, like
too many cows.
Too many cows, and the guys are only going to give you peanuts, barely pay the freight to get them up there.
Except for this year.
Everything's there.
Well, I talked to a fellow this morning, and they're landfilling 2,000 pigs a day at the landfill he was going to.
Well, Ridge Landfill here, they
yeah.
Some put in there.
Yeah.
And on the Terra Farmer magazine there last week, they said that the guys from Quebec are moving a lot of their dairy cows with this whole situation with too much milk, getting the rest of a bunch of cows, and they're just flooding the market.
And if you got a cow that's not just perfect, she might as well go.
Yeah. Why dump milk down the drain? Get rid of some of the producers. I think out of this whole COVID-19 pandemic thing, guys are going to call hard, and you know, in 3 years from now, they're going to have some of the best herds going because they got rid of all those cows that, yeah, they were giving us some milk and weren't costing us too much to keep around. But now it's like, we're making too much milk, let's get rid of these tail enders.
Yep. But you keep the donkeys, eh?
Yeah. The donkeys.
Well, this is a nice donkey. Yeah. Boy.
And this is her daughter. When we bought these, they bought one donkey, and about 6 months later we had two.
You had a surprise for him.
Yeah. It was a 2-for-1 deal. Yeah.
So you keep all your own replacements?
Yeah. We buy purebred bulls usually from, it was the pick of the crop sale there at Listerwool. And but that was canceled this year. So we had to just go to a couple farms, and we got 2 bulls selected. We got rid of our 2 Red Angus last fall. They were getting of age where some of their heifers were coming in. And then try to keep a Charolais around, give it a bit of a nice cross, but you see some up here in the fat pen. Some nice goldies.
So these are last year's calves in here. And that one over there, that's, is that a French one over there? Is that a filet mignon?
Yeah.
Soon to be?
Yep. I think that one's going to Dresden second week in May.
Looks
He's our last 18 calf there.
Nice looking.
Yeah.
That's a steer.
Yeah, that's a steer.
Oh, so you're saying you elasticize them at
birth. Within the first 24 hours, we put elastic on them.
It works good?
Yep. Yeah, it might set them back a little bit, but kind of like they're pretty easy to catch and handle when they're a day old. So our routine is we'll tag them, dip their navels, give them a shot of E and selenium, and elasticize the bulls.
Then when you're out of silage, you'll put these on a straight corn diet?
Yep, there'll be a feed hopper in there, then we'll set a round bale in there with straw. You can chew on the straw and get on the feed wagon, and that's always what time when we're planting or into the tomatoes or the peppers. And so you just, but once a week you have to fill it back up again. It's about an 8-ton hopper. And you run the corn all through a roller, so it rolls it up.
Well, this beef business is getting pretty tough in Canada. Well, US too.
Yeah, and it's funny, like there was just an article in the paper the other day, what the cost is, how it's gone up for the consumers, but it's gone down for the producers. I know they're paying some of their labor a premium to come to work in the processing plants, and it's a tough job there, but when a consumer goes to that meat case and looks at that, it's not our doing.
Yeah.
It's not our doing. We're out here trying to get quality product, maintain the food chain. Like we just can't put these things on a shelf and make them.
Well, the biggest problem I see in Ontario, we just don't have enough packing capacity.
Processing capacity is under pressure. Yeah. Yeah, and then, you know, we lost that one there a year ago, and they're always bidding cattle, so there's another buyer and there's more competition to get a price.
Yeah, even if they don't buy them, if they just bid them up.
Yeah, they might not get them at the end of the day, but they force those other guys up with them. We've took some up to VG Meats, which has been a nice little outlet too. We take 8 at a time up there.
I just wish VG Meats was about an hour and a half closer.
Yeah, and there's no direct way to get there.
It's a hard run from here.
I remember our last load we took up there, the grass was green here, and time we got within an hour, but you couldn't see the road because it was snowing so hard. And we were glad to get out of there. When we got loaded coming back, there was times the roads were getting pretty full.
Well, they look pretty happy in there. That corn stalks makes good bedding.
Yeah.
Well, they would eat a little bit of that too, wouldn't they?
Yeah, we'll have to take a couple 100 pounds feed out tomorrow because on their mix, because they'll be eating that corn stalks today, so there'll be a little bit left in the mix. We put one of those back scratchers on every pen. They just love them. They stand there and they'll line up for it and scratch themselves. And we got the Muir Fountain water bowls in there, so they're energy-free water bowls.
They're not wanting a jujube too, are they? So will you pick some heifers out of here then to keep?
Yep. Yeah. We'll do a selection in about another month. Pick out about 5% of our herd, so well, maybe closer to 10. Maybe 5 or 6 heifers are bred again next year.
Well, then you keep your cows a little on the younger side.
Yep.
Well, this is pretty interesting. When I started this YouTube adventure, I guess, I wanted to cover as many different kinds of agriculture in Kent and Lambton as I could. And the beef business, which is near and dear to my heart, I wanted to get out here, and I was really glad, Neil, when you texted me and said, come on out. And really glad to get out here. And one thing I want to mention too is we've now got a email address where you can send in your suggestions and your criticisms. What the heck? I know I huff and puff a lot, but anyway, send in your criticisms or your suggestions. We're always looking for ideas. And our email address is soybeanman@jacksonseedservice.com. I'll have Cam put that on the back of this video so you can have that, and you can send me an email. Comes right to my shirt pocket, so I can see that. Well, Neil, you've got a really nice farm here. I knew the fellow that Don used to come into the plant all the time. He was quite a fella that had this. It was a bachelor, had this for a lot of years, and pretty good farmer, and was very interesting guy to talk to.
Yeah, Donald, a bachelor, as you said, and he had Black Angus cows here, and then Donald got sick and passed away, and we were able to acquire it, and his sister was really happy to hear that cows were coming back here to stay, and she thought her brother would be really happy to see cows walking around here still.
I actually went and saw Don when he was in the nursing home, and he asked me who I was in to visit. I said, Don, I come to see you. Yeah. He couldn't believe that we would take the time.
Yeah, and that's important. You know, it's just too bad now that we can't see those individuals that are in there.
Yeah, you know, he would be happy if he could come back and see what you've done with the place. You've added so much more to it, and you really have a neat operation here. And anyway, thanks for taking the time. And
it doesn't cost any more to do it clean, but it's just a lot easier to get it done.
Yep, great.
Yeah, thanks for coming, Dennis.
Yep, well, thanks a lot.